You know, the Mental Hygiene Project is a partnership between Ryan and I that offers mental health and wellness programs that specifically create focused, effective employees, strong mental health in the workplace and lower on-the-job risk, and also effective, inspired leaders.
And you know, we're hearing now that workplace burnout is now an official diagnosis. I mean, how do people know if they're experiencing some of this, and what can we do, especially if you work in a place maybe that's, you know, we've all worked at those places that kind of
stress.
Yeah, suck the life out of you. How can you deal with that?
Yeah, I think today, you know, all organizations and employees are experiencing trauma, or they're experiencing burnout and the stressors of the job. And I think it's really important for the employers to provide educational programs to help with resiliency and teaching the individual about resiliency, but also creating programs that build organizational resiliency. It's a system, it's a process that takes time, and it's a collaborative effort to create mutual benefit for the employee and the employer.
And you as a first responder, you're not just talking about the high stress as first responders, people in the medical emergency professions, but you're also talking about people who work day in, day out. It could be as in a cubicle or out on the job, but you're also talking about breaking the stigma. You want to change that PTSD to PTSI. So what's that about too?
Yeah, so you know, I think we all have skin in the game when we talk about mental health. At one time or another, we have all experienced a temporary challenge of life. And I think that there's a stigma, or I know that there's a stigma associated with mental health. And part of that change is where we can create the conversation and normalize the conversation of mental hygiene or mental health.
Post-traumatic healing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you're seeing it in a variety of workplaces. It's not just, you know, people seeing like tragic things on a daily basis, but stressful situations in different offices. And
Very much so. From a corporate perspective, mental health is really no longer in the shadows. The American Psychiatric Association says that 1 in 5 Americans will experience some kind of a mental health issue, and that is more in their lifetime, and that's more than cancer, heart disease, and diabetes combined. And it's interesting when you look at the workplace issues. Statistics tell us that up to 80% of people have dealt with a kind of workplace stress that creates decreased productivity and interferes with their personal relationships in a negative way. So what we're doing is we don't want to just create awareness of mental health injuries in the workplace, both in public and private institutions. We really want to create, and we're offering programs that mitigate and help to avoid these kinds of injuries. And in addition to that, create a healthier workplace that's more productive.
Of course, you'd probably like to hear from employees and employers because, like you were saying, it's a hand in hand. It works as a team when it comes to mental health.
Absolutely. And you know, one other statistic that is remarkable from the American Psychiatric Association, they say that there is more than $44 billion of lost productivity specifically due to depression alone, and that doesn't even include all of the other mental health injuries.
fascinating discussion. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
And we'll keep in touch.